In the previous episode, we saw how Black Scythe was able to dominate the battlefield by his ever-surpassing knowledge and repetition of the rounds he did in his previous regressions. He even completed the secret sub-quest of the round, which was to kill the region representative of their zone. The angel descended once again, revealing to everyone that it was not the quantity of kills, but the number of new individuals they killed, that mattered for them to get their place onto the leaderboard. She showcased the results in front of everyone, and we come to know that our boy Rayu was on top with 722 kills. Seeing the results, the angel was surprised by the fact that Black Scythe was again able to take first place in the round. Meanwhile, Rayu stared at the angel with a disgusted look on his face. I would like to take a break and ask you all to hit that like button, as today's like aim is 1000 likes. Also consider subscribing to the channel with the notification bell on to get notified as soon as a new video drops on the channel. You can also support me financially by joining the channel by taking membership, as it should help me create better quality content faster. Now let's get back to the video. The other players were not able to believe that Black Scythe killed over 700 people in such short amount of time. They were not ready to believe that doing this task was even humanly possible. Even the battlefield consisted of 1,000 people in total, so that meant that Black Scythe alone killed 70% of them. The angel also gave a sadist smile and started clapping, showing amusement towards Black Scythe for killing a whopping 722 people all alone in a round. She told Black Scythe that this extraordinary performance of him called for a good reward. A notification popped up, congratulating Black Scythe for being ranked first in the quest in his zone as well as all the zones. The reward for ranking first in his own zone was an intermediate rank rare armor selection coupon, and his reward for ranking first in all zones and was an intermediate rank special reward selection box. Black Scythe still remained calm and with a straight face thought that it was good that he got an intermediate rank armor selection coupon because it was about time for him to change his armor. A shopping window popped up in front of Black Scythe, asking him to choose from 3 good armors consisting of a polished bronze armor, a blood-red assassin's suit, and a robe of darkness. As our boy Rayu likes red, he definitely chose number 2, the blood-red assassin suit. It was a rare armor with a defense of 60 and increased the player's agility to 4 and attack speed to 5%. With normal speed, it gave an increase of 5% too. It had a durability of 600 points and can be used by regular ranked players and above. It was a blood-colored suit worn by a certain assassin, and sometimes it even reeked of blood it had on itself. After choosing the armor, it was now time for the special reward. The system again told Black Scythe to choose from the 3 options, which were 50% stat increase for the duration of round 5, 5,000 gold, or information about round 5. As Rayu already knew about what round 5 was, he did not need the information, and instead of that, he knew that round 5 had a great sub-quest, but it was very difficult to complete it. He understood that the 50% stat increase for round 5 will be of great help to him, considering the difficulty level of the round. After choosing his gifts, the angel started speaking again while flying into the air and asked every player if they have checked all their rankings. She told all of them that 30 people ranked 521st in their zones, and everyone lower than that will be now eliminated for real. The angel again had a sadistic smile along with a devilish look into her eyes. With this look, she smiled and asked the players if they were ready to start the annihilation phase. As soon as the angel finished her question, the players who were ranked below 521 started fading away, looking at themselves deeply in fear and confusion, not able to believe that they were dying for real this time and will not get revived ever again. All of them started screaming, telling the angel that they don't want to die like this. Even the thug looked around at the players who stood around him as they started screaming in agony and frustration, begging the angel to save them as they started disappearing. The thug was happy that he was able to make it to the next round, even if he just passed that round barely. On the other hand, Arin was deeply struck by fear. She clenched his ears tightly for shutting off all the screams of help, which were coming from the players who were going towards their deaths. Black Scythe also closed his eyes for a moment, disappointed at the gruesome but inevitable outcome, but a few moments later he was back again with his determined look. As soon as this phase was finished, a notification popped up, congratulating everyone who survived round 4, telling them that the round was finally over. The players who were alive got notified that their souls will be transferred to their bodies in the existing dimension after a sort of while. They were informed that round 5 will begin at midnight on May 1, 2023. As the scene shifts, we come to the Imperial Hotel, where someone was running towards a room. It was none other than the department head Ahan. He opened the room and screamed for the president, waking him up from a deep slumber. The president was shocked by knowing that the department head was in his room because he didn't remember calling him at all. But department head replied that as he was not able to reach the president, he thought to excuse himself straight into his room because he thought that something might have happened to him during the round. The president smiled and asked the head if he thought that the president would die in round 4. He asked the head if he didn't saw the result of round 4. The head nervously replied that even when he saw the president being ranked, he was still worried for him because it was a pretty crazy round at the first place. The president replied that the craziness was the sole reason for him passing out in his bed as soon as he returned from the round. There was no doubt about the mental exhaustion that the round gave to every player. A whopping 433 people died in the same round. But the president also considered that the count could be way more if they counted the repetitive kills along with the original kills. He was also not able to comprehend about the kind of monster Black Scythe was because he was on another level with getting the first place and all. The department head guessed that Black Scythe would probably be an active duty special forces soldier. Someone with guts and skills like him would only be someone of the special forces in Korea. But the president was already deep in thought, admitting that the more he thought about Black Scythe, the more he started to admire him. He knew that no matter what his real identity was, he had to make Black Scythe join hands with him because that would be very reassuring. He knew that he had to ask the seer Rayu about the Black Scythe later on. The department head was also surprised, knowing that round 4 actually went exactly according to what Rayu told them. He even admitted that he has doubted Rayu until he witnessed the round with his own eyes. The president also agreed to what the department head was saying, remembering that during their meal, you told them that round 4 was not a monster hunt, but a massacre among the players itself. At first, the president was not believing at what Rayu was telling him, but Rayu still told him that round 4 was a disaster, with players killing each other. He even warned the president to keep his guard up all the time. Breaking the president's flow of thoughts, the department head asked the president about what their next move should be regarding Rayu. The head wanted to know if the president really planned to let Rayu be his business partner. The president held up his nightcoat into his hand while telling the head that Rai was already a major shareholder in his company, with 31% of the shares, making the company fall straight into his hands. The department head was still not convinced, asking the president if he really wanted to completely switch the industry like Rayu told them to. But he was consoled by the president, being told that the company could even grow with the path Rayu told them go to, and apart from that, the president needed Rayu at his side at all costs. He asked the department head to not look down on him or be prideful in front of him because of him being just young. Even if the department head did not like his behavior, the president wanted him to praise Rayu and dance to his tune because only then they would able to get all the sweet rewards for themselves from Rayu. The department head bowed his head down in agreement, telling the president that he would be careful with his behavior when he deals with Rayu from the next time. Hearing that, the president was delighted and told the head to call Rayu right now and tell him that the president is going to have a grand party later today to celebrate their survival in round 4. He even wanted Rayu to come with his family if he had any and asked the department head if they should invite Aharon to the party too. According to him, they have got to have the celebrities with them at the time of celebrations. As the scene shifts, we see that our boy Rayu was standing near a cafe waiting for someone. He waved his hands with a handsome smile as he looked at Yuri, who was coming towards him. She complimented Rayu, telling him that he looks fine in the outfit he wore that day, but our boy Rayu knew how to flirt and told her that she was looking way prettier. Yuri asked Rayu about his sudden plans for lunch, but he replied, telling her that they should celebrate their survival from round 4 with a hearty meal. They walked towards the car, while Yuri told Rayu that if that's how this worked, she will take all the advantages of having a rich friend. As the car swooped the dust out of the streets, with its high speed, Rayu and Yuri were sighting inside with each other. Yuri thanked Rayu, telling him that it was only due to him that she was able to get ready for the round 4. With a smile on his face, Rayu asked Yuri if she ever thought that Rayu was lying. But Yuri replied that she never thought about it because she was not able to understand about what Rayu would get from lying to her. Upon hearing this, Rayu thanked Yuri for trusting him, but she immediately told Rayu that she should be the one who should be thankful to him because if Rayu had not told her to kill at least 30 people, she would already be dead by now. But according to Rayu, that there was no reason for Yuri to be thankful to him because even if he didn't tell her, she would have survived due to the rune of protection in her possession. She was actually resourceful too, in comparison to Aharon, who was like a protected flower in a greenhouse. Yuri was more like a weed outside the garden of Aharon. After some minutes of driving, Rayu and Yuri arrived at the expensive restaurant and ordered a meal. Rayu told Yuri to enjoy her meal to heart, and they started eating. Rayu smiled as he tried to remember about the number of times Yuri had already thanked him. But on the other hand, Yuri was not feeling all right, according to her. A murderer like her should not even be eating a meal like the one in front of her. Seeing this, Rayu asked Yuri about why she was not eating, even when he knew that Yuri was still feeling guilty about killing other people. Yuri replied that she was not feeling so great, but our boy Rayu directly asked her if she was feeling guilty because she killed someone during the round. He advised Yuri to not take it too hard and blame herself because she really had to survive the round also. It was not just Yuri who did it. Keeping the situation in mind, killing was inevitable for her survival and even Rayu's for a matter of fact. Yuri almost started crying even after hearing all that, telling Rayu that ultimately it's a fact that she killed someone, but Rayu screamed at her, telling Yuri that it was enough, that if something similar happens in the future too, will they let it happen without doing anything? What about the families they had here? What will they do if a player didn't wake up the next day? An image of Rayu's younger brother flashed into his mind, while he told Yuri that all the players had their families waiting for them to return. Hearing these words coming out of Rayu's lips, Yuri realized that if she didn't wake up after a round of the game finishes, her dad would be deeply saddened by this loss and would be crying all day. Yuri admitted that Rayu was right, telling him that she forgot about her family for a second, not realizing that her dad was the whole reason because of which she was able to last so long. With a determined look in her face, Yuri thanked Rayu for comforting her well and also knocking some sense into her, but Rayu asked her to not mention it and told her to eat the food quickly because it was so delicious. Yuri agreed to Rayu's proposition and started eating the meal, telling him that the food was really very tasty and she was able to feel her exhaustion from round 4 melting away with every bite she took. Rayu was glad to hear what Yuri was saying, while the readers have a wide shot of tasty-looking food. After a while, when they finished their food, Yuri thanked Rayu for giving her such a good treat. Rayu pointed Yuri out for calling him without his surname for the first time. Hearing that, Yuri was surprised and asked him if she can call him that way from now on, if Rayu does not mind, of course. Rayu immediately agreed to this question, guessing that Yuri's mood was now all right and she was feeling better. Rayu wanted to come straight to the point and ask her out. Wanted to share something important with her. Rayu's face turned into a more serious one as he told Yuri that he called her today, mainly so that he can share some information about round 5 with her. Yuri was shocked to the core. Knowing that Rayu had saw the future once again, Rayu told her that round 5 would be the hardest of all rounds yet, and there would also be a zone merger this time. Not able to understand what a zone merger was, Yuri asked Rayu to explain. Rayu told her that all the zones which were split till now would be merged into one for round 5. Yuri immediately guessed that if it was possible, she would be able to meet Rayu in the next round, but Rayu calmly sipped his tea as he told Yuri that it was not still possible in round 5. He knew that they will in fact meet in round 5, but not as Rayu, but as Black Scythe. He also knew that if he tells Yuri that they would be in the same zone for the next round, she would definitely want to meet him. But that was not possible because Rayu wanted to meet her with his identity hidden. He put his cup back into the plate and asked Yuri to listen carefully to what he was going to say now. Rayu started explaining that round 5 was going to be very difficult that Yuri might not even be able to pass it, but somehow there was a way for her to pass. In nervousness, Yuri asked you about what the way was. Hearing this, Rayu told Yuri to find Black Scythe and ask him for help if she wanted to pass. Yuri was shocked, not able to understand what Rayu was saying. And with that, this chapter comes to an end. I hope that you liked today's chapter, and if you did, hit that like button and complete today's like aim of 1000 likes. Also consider subscribing with the notification bell on to get notified as soon as a new video drops onto the channel. You can also consider joining the channel to support me financially, as it would help me produce better quality content faster. As always, I wish you all to have a nice day, and I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.